How's it going, guys? Peshcats here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the double R's that came out, or that are coming out in Madoka Rebellion. This comes out next week. I think it's 1 week from today when I post this video, May 15th, if memory serves me correctly. As of a couple of days ago, all of the double R's have been revealed, so we're going to be taking a look at them. And I'm going to be giving my impression on each one and how good I think they are and stuff like that. So let's take a look. I have this nice setup here with the magic of Microsoft Paint, and let's get right into it. So first, we're going to start with the yellow double R's. First, we have this 3-2 Nagisa, so she has magic trait like, everything else in this set, and she has the new cheese trait, because, Nagisa, cheese. Yeah. So, first off, she's a healer, so that's already really good. And she has a climax combo with this wind trigger climax right here. When you play the climax, you can pay 1, choose one of your opponent's level 3 or lower characters on the stage, send that card to memory, then your opponent can replace it with a level 0 character from their waiting room. This is optional, by the way. Your opponent does not have to play a level 0 from the waiting room, and so they might not want to do this if they are afraid of getting clock shot, or if they want you to overshoot on damage, things like that. So, I think a lot of people aren't giving this card enough credit. Honestly, I think the main reason is because this card doesn't have a Musashi effect. So, like, the Musashi effect is when this card's attack is canceled, you mill a card, and then you burn your opponent equal to whatever the milled card's level +1. So, like, if you mill level 1, you burn for 2. And this card does not have that effect. And I think people were expecting it to have that effect, and because it doesn't, people just aren't giving it enough credit. I also think it's kind of because of the climax combo. It's not amazing. It's not like game breaking. It's not like burn for 4. I'm looking at you, Shinon. But I think this card is pretty good. It's a healer. It has a decent climax combo. You can use it to get rid of cards on your opponent's field that are a big problem. The first one that comes to mind for me is the level 3 Devil Homura, because that card can hit 18,500 without any support. And it's a clock shooter on either player's turn. So it's obviously a huge threat. You don't want to be giving your opponent a free damage on you. So if you can get rid of the Devil Homura with a card like this, then you're good to go. At the same time, the climax combo needed for this is a wind trigger climax. So you have multiple ways, even if you don't have the Nagisa climax combo, you have multiple ways of getting rid of big threats on your opponent's board and returning them to your hand, or throwing them to stock, or whatever. So, and it's a healer. So, I mean, like, come on, it's a healer. Okay, moving on. 1-0 Mami. So, this card is also technically a Homura, because the name is Duel with Homura Mami, so like it has Homura in the name. So you can treat this as a Homura. I don't know what you would do with that, but whatever. So this is basically the yellow 1-0 climax combo advantage engine thing that like a lot of sets are getting. And it's on that bingo card that one guy made. So it's like a bunch of other cards that we've seen, like Asuna Invites to Party, and Remy from Girlfriend Beta, and Shiro from Fate Unlimited Blade Works. And yeah, you get the point. So this card climax combos with Stock Soul Climax. So when you play the climax, you can take a yellow card from your waiting room, put it in stock. So it basically makes this climax combo free, at least when you only have one Mami. If you have more than one, obviously you're going to be paying more stock. But yeah, when this card attacks, while the climax is in play, you can pay 1 stock. Look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose a magic trait character among those 4 cards. Add it to your hand. Send the rest of the cards to the waiting room. And then until the end of the turn, this card gets plus 2k power. So it becomes a 7k. The climax doesn't give any power itself. So 7k is alright. Gets over a good amount of stuff. And so this card only lets you look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, so like you're not able to look through your whole deck and get exactly what you need. And so this kind of has an upside and a downside. So the upside is that somebody mentioned this on like Facebook forum or something. This deck or this set rather, has like a Nagisa to Mami, or a Mami to Nagisa level 1 bond that's actually pretty good. So if you don't have the level 1 Nagisa in your waiting room, use this climax combo with the top 4 cards of your deck. Okay, I'll grab the Bonder, and then I'll send the Nagisa to the waiting room or something like that. You can do that. I guess that's an upside. Because like if you play Invite to Party, you don't get to send stuff to the waiting room. So yeah. And the downside obviously being that it's only 4 cards. So I think this card's okay. The fact that it's a stock sold climax is pretty cool because you can you get stock. You get free stock. You can use the stock for stuff. Stock is cool. Alright. Moving on now. 1-0 Kyoko. We're going to do the red cards next. So this is a level 1 Suicider. When this card is reversed in battle, if the opposing character was a level 1 or lower character, you can reverse it as well. And at the same time, when this card is reversed in battle, you can choose one of your magic trait characters and give it plus 1500 for the rest of the turn. So, level 1 Suicider, solid. They're good cards by like just by being level 1 Suiciders. And this one has a very relevant second ability, being that when it's reversed in battle, you can give a 1500 point boost to another character. So, you can use this to get value out of your other cards in addition to having value herself. So you trade her into your opponent's level 1, and then you give 1500 power to your other character, which can then kill another one of their characters. So you turn like a 1 for 2 in your opponent's favor into a 2 for 1 in your favor. So it's a good value card. Is it worth a double R slot, though? I don't think so. I think a rare would be fine, not so much a double R, but Bushiroad can do whatever they want. So I think it's a solid card, not worth of a double R slot, but a solid card. Next up we have this 3-2 Kyoko Healer, and she's also a burner. So on play heal, when she attacks you can pay 2 and discard a card to burn for 1 damage. So pay 2 and discard a card is kind of a heavy cost for a burn 1. I mean, if you win the game, you win the game. It doesn't matter how much stock you have or how many cards you have in your hand. But if you don't win, you're down a lot of stock. So yeah. A couple cards that come to mind when I see this card are the 3-2 Misaka and Kuroko from Railgun, and 3-2 Milhi from Dog Days. And each of those has like a slight variation on this effect. So the Milhi from Dog Days, it's also on play heal, but its effect is instead of being on attack pay 2 discard 1, it's when you reverse your opponent, you can pay 2 and you can pay 2, and then you don't discard, and then you burn for 1. So the ups and downs to that is that you have to reverse the opponent's card in order to get the burn, but at the same time you don't have to discard a card, and you can also burn your opponent on their turn when they suicide their character into your Milhi. So that's the upside there. And then you have a 3-2 Misaka and Kuroko from Railgun. I believe its ability was on attack, pay 1, discard 1. It gets plus 2000 power, and then if it reverses the character, opponent's character, you burn for 1. So obvious upside there is that it gets plus 2000 power, which makes it a lot easier for you to reverse the opponent's card, and you also only have to pay 1 stock instead of 2. So I think this card is solid. The fact that it has a healer attached to a burn effect makes it more worth using. Just like the 1-0 Kyoko, I think it's solid. It's not amazing. It's not like the best card I've ever seen, but it's solid, and it is what it is. Okay. All right. Now moving on to what I think is one of the best level 3s in this set, and I think a lot of you will agree. 3-2 Sayaka, so it's an early summon. If you have 6 or more climaxes in your waiting room, it gets -1 level in your hand. And it has an effect that my friends and I like to call a Great Wall. So cards like Hiryu Kaini from Konkole, Mew from Prisma Ilia, Saya from Girlfriend Beta all have this kind of effect, or like this group of effects. So one of them being some sort of way to play it at level 2, and then at the start of your opponent's draw phase, if this is in the front row, you can pick a character and give it 4000. So most of the time, you're going to be giving it to the 3-2 Sayaka herself, so she can be 13-5, so she can stay on your field, and you can get value out of her. So, like, how do you get the value? Climax combo. She has a climax combo with this Pants climax right here. When she attacks, while it's in play, you can pay 1 to search your deck for 2 magic characters and put them in your hand. So that's really cool. She's going to be really fat, stay on your board, play the climax, get more cards. Yeah, so it's good. 2/1 Sayaka. So this is a level support. Characters in front of this get 500 times their own level. And your second ability is pay 2, rest this, search your deck for magic trait character, and add it to your hand. I don't know why this is double. Like, I honestly do not. Like, the level support is relevant. If you like have the level support with 3/2 Sayaka on your opponent's turn, it's going to be like 15k, unless you have 2 level supports, and the Sayaka's in the center slot, then it's a 16/5, so like your opponent's never going to kill it. But the second effect is almost completely irrelevant, or at least it's made irrelevant because of 3/2 Sayaka's climax combo. This is pay 1 to search your deck for 2 characters. This is pay 2 to search your deck for 1. Now, this is a climax combo, but I mean, come on. It's a pants climax. So like you can trigger a pants climax and then salvage a pants climax, and then boom, I get to search cards. And yeah, that's basically it. Like, it's a level support, it's decent. I don't think it's worth a double R. Like, just straight up, I don't think it's worth a double R slot. But it is what it is. Next up, we have this 3/2 Homura. This is what I feel is the other best double R in the set. So I think this and the 3/2 Sayaka are the best 2 double Rs in the set. Like, hands down. Worth noting, this card is also technically Madoka. The name of the card is for Madoka Homura. So it's like Madoka no Tameni Homura. So this can count as a Homura and a Madoka at the same time. So anyways, onto the effect. When this comes into play from hand or via a change effect, you can draw up to 2 cards and then discard cards. So this lets you dig for stuff. Yeah. When this comes into play from your hand, you have to choose one of your magic trait characters and rest it. So this is a downside. It's to give you incentive to play it via a change effect. So when you play it from change, it doesn't come from your hand, it comes from your waiting room, and then you wouldn't have to rest a character. And climax combo, clock shoot. So it's like Akagi from Contact Collection, and that has a gold bar climax combo. When this card attacks, while you have the gold bar in play until the end of the turn, this gets plus 2,000 power, and if it reverses the opponent, you shoot the clock. So it's this is basically a Akagi Kai in Madoka. So I think this is going to be a really strong card. Play a Homura. Search. Look at top 2 cards of your deck. Draw 2. Get another Homura. Play another Homura, and then like change into 1. And then play the climax, and then triple clock shot. And then your opponent's like, F my life. So yeah, strong card. And the last double R of the set, we have 3/2 Madoka. So this is another early summon like the 3/2 Sayaka. If there are 6 or more climaxes in your waiting room, this gets -1 level while in your hand. Her other effect is a clock summon ability. So when this card comes into play from your hand, choose a magic trait character from your clock whose level is equal or lower than your level, and you may place it to any slot on the stage. I forgot to put you may place it. It is optional, but yeah. And then if you do, you take the top card of your deck and put it into clock. So if you play this early while at level 2, you can only choose up to a level 2 character from your clock and put it into play. But if you're at level 3, then you can put any character into play from your clock. I don't think this one is as strong as the other level 3s because, well, I just don't think it's as strong. Like, you can play a level 2 from your clock. Like, you can play like a level support. But after that, this Madoka doesn't really have a very meaningful anything. Like, it doesn't do anything anymore. It doesn't get a power boost or get a clock shot or anything like that. So, not like this set needs any more clock shot, but you get the point. So, you guys already know which ones I think are the strongest. I feel like the 3/2 Homura and the 3/2 Sayaka are the strongest ones. I feel like the 2/1 Sayaka is the weakest out of all of them. And so, yeah. So that's all I have for you guys today. Those are the double Rs of Madoka Rebellion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and leave your comments down in the comment section below if you guys like what you saw. Be sure to like the video and subscribe and all that stuff. I'm going to be trying to upload a lot more content just than I have previously, especially with stuff like Vanguard. Like with Vanguard, I pretty much dropped that. So I really want to get into posting more Weiss Schwarz videos. So if you guys are liking what I'm putting out, be sure to let me know, and I'll see you next time. See you guys.